You already know what you need to do. That's the truth most people avoid. It's not that you're confused. It's not that you're waiting for the right moment. It's not that you don't have enough information. You know what time you should wake up. You know what you need to stop doing? You know what's wasting your life and what's actually building it. The problem is not knowledge. The problem is you keep letting go. You keep letting distractions pull you away. You keep letting noise back into your life. People, conversations, comfort. One more night, one more scroll, one more excuse. And every time you do that, you drift further away from the one thing that actually matters. Focus, staying locked in. That's the whole game. Everybody wants results, but nobody wants to protect their attention like their life depends on it. But it does. Not in some motivational quote way, in a real way. Because one day, you're going to look back and you'll either say, I stayed focused, I held the line, or you'll feel the weight of every hour you gave away to things that meant nothing. There's a version of you, a real version, not a fantasy, not a dream, a version of you that finishes what they start. A version that doesn't run when things get uncomfortable. A version that stays even when it's hard, slow, and invisible. That version of you is not more talented, not more lucky, not born in better conditions. They just didn't let go. They stayed locked in. When everything around them was pulling them away, and the gap between you and that version, it's not talent, it's not money, it's not timing, it's not connections, it's focus. It's the decision you make every single day. To stay locked in, I know what it feels like to work hard and see nothing come back. To wake up tired before the day even starts. To watch other people enjoy life while you're questioning everything. To sit alone and wonder, did I choose the wrong path? Is this even working? What if I'm wrong about myself? That feeling is real. But listen carefully. That feeling is not a signal to stop. That feeling is the cost. Every person who built something meaningful felt that exact same pressure. The only difference, they stayed locked in anyway. Most people treat focus like a feeling, like something that comes and goes. But focus is not a mood. It's a decision. A decision you make before the excuses show up, before distractions knock, before your mind tries to convince you to take it easy. Because when the test comes, and it will come, if you didn't decide already, you will fold. Not because you're weak, but because you left the door open. Every time you break your focus, something deeper happens. You're not just wasting time, you're teaching yourself something. You're building a story in your mind about who you are. Every time you say you'll do something and don't, you weaken your own trust. And slowly, your mind stops believing you. Not loudly, quietly. And when you don't trust yourself, everything becomes harder. Your goals feel further away. Your plans feel empty. Your confidence fades. The solution is simple, but not easy. Do what you said you would do, one promise at a time. That's how you rebuild yourself. You think successful people had it easy. No. They built their lives while everything around them told them to stop, while people around them gave up, while their own minds doubted them. While nothing looked like it was working, they didn't give their attention to everything. They protected it because where your attention goes, your life follows. Distraction doesn't look dangerous. That's why it wins. It looks like fun. It feels harmless. It sounds like you deserve a break. But every time you say yes to distraction, you say no to your future. You say no to growth. You say no to discipline. You say no to becoming who you said you would be. And the world will never run out of distractions. But your time, that's limited. Being locked in doesn't mean you don't rest. It means you know the difference between rest and escape. Real rest makes you stronger. Escape keeps you stuck and deep down. You know which one you've been choosing? Motivation will not save you. Every time real growth happens when you show up. Without motivation, when it's boring, when it's quiet, when no one is watching, that's where real results are built. Let me tell you something important. Being busy is not the same as progressing. You can be active all day and still go nowhere. Staying locked in means focusing deeply on what actually matters. Not everything, just the right thing. There will be days where it feels wrong. Where people tell you you've changed, that you're too serious, that you need balance, that you're doing too much. But understand this, your focus will make people uncomfortable because It reminds them of what they're not doing. Stay focused anyway. Don't owe anyone an explanation. Your time is yours. Protect it. Every day you're not locked in. Someone else is, while you hesitate. They move while you wait. The gap doesn't close by itself. It closes through consistent action, quiet, daily work. This isn't about one big moment. It's about small choices every day. Wake up, choose discipline. Feel tired, choose discipline. Feel doubt, choose discipline. That's how lives change. Come back, that's it. No guilt, no drama, just come back. Because the people who succeed are not perfect, they just return faster. Here's the truth, you can't ignore anymore. You know there's more inside you. You feel it. That gap between where you are and who you could be. It's real, and it will never, and there's something else you need to understand. This journey you're on, it's not loud, it's not glamorous, most of the time. It's quiet. It's you, in your own space, doing the work with no applause, no recognition, no guarantee that it's even working yet. And that's where most people disappear. Not because they can't do it, but because they can't handle the silence. They need validation. They need results right now. They need proof before they commit. But real growth doesn't work like that. Real growth hides, it builds in the dark. It builds when nobody is watching. It builds when even you start doubting it. There will be long stretches where nothing changes, no big wins, no visible progress, no one clapping for you, just effort repeated over and over again. And in those moments, your mind will try to trick you. It will say, maybe this isn't working. Maybe you should slow down. Maybe this isn't for you. But listen, that voice is not truth. That voice is discomfort. And most people obey it. That's why most people never become who they could have been. You have to become someone who can sit in that silence and keep going anyway. Someone who doesn't need constant proof. Someone who understands that progress is happening, even when it's invisible, because it is. Every time you show up, something shifts, even if you can't see it yet. Think about it like this. You're laying bricks, one by one, every single day. But you don't see the building yet, so you start questioning the process. You start wondering if it's worth it. But the truth is, the building is rising. You just can't see it from where you're standing. And if you stop now, you don't just pause the process. You destroy momentum. This is where people quit, right before things start. Working, right before the results begin to show. Right before everything connects, they leave because they couldn't stay long enough. So let me ask you something. How many times have you stopped too early? How many times were you closer than you thought, but you walked away anyway because it got boring, because it got hard, because it stopped feeling exciting? That's the pattern. And if you don't break it, it will follow you for the rest of your life. But you're not here for that. You're here because something in you is tired of starting over, tired of stopping halfway, tired of knowing you're capable of more, but not living it. So now, this is about identity, not motivation, not discipline alone. Identity. You need to become the kind of person who doesn't stop, who doesn't negotiate with distractions, who doesn't break promises to themselves. A person who shows up, no matter how they feel. Because feelings will lie to you. They will tell you to rest when you should work. They will tell you to quit when you should push. They will tell you later when you know it should be now. And if you follow your feelings, you will stay exactly where you are. But if you follow your decision, everything changes. There's a version of you watching you right now, not judging you, but waiting to see if you finally become them, waiting to see if this time you actually commit. And that version of you, they're not doing anything magical. They're just consistent. They just stayed. They didn't quit on hard days. They didn't disappear when it got boring. They didn't trade their future for temporary comfort. They stayed locked in, and that's the only difference. Don't need a new plan. You don't need another strategy. You don't need more information. You need execution, daily, relentless, focused execution. Because the truth is, you already have everything you need. What you're missing is consistency. So from this point forward, stop when it's time to work. Work. When it's time to focus. Focus when it's time to show up. Show up fully. No half effort, no excuses, no delays. Because every time you hesitate, you lose momentum. And momentum is everything. Build it, protect it, respect it, and understand this. The life you want is not far away. It's just on the other side of consistency. Not perfection, consistency. So, don't aim to be perfect. Aim to be present, aim to be locked in every single day. Because one day, this version of you, the one that struggled, the one that doubted, the one that almost gave up, will become your past. And you'll look back, not with regret, but with pride. Because you didn't quit, because you stayed, because you became who you said you would be. Stay locked in. Let me tell you something most people never admit. Staying locked in is not just about building something on the outside, it's about rebuilding yourself on the inside. Because every time you choose discipline, you're not just completing a task, you're changing your identity. You're proving to yourself, I can trust me. And that might sound simple, but it's one of the most powerful things you can build. Because right now, if you're honest, there are moments where you don't fully trust yourself. Moments where you say you'll do something and you don't. Moments where you promise change and fall back into the same patterns. That's not because you're weak, it's because you've practiced inconsistency. But here's the truth, most people never realize. You can train yourself to become consistent, the same way you trained yourself to quit. You can train yourself to follow through every single time you do what you said you would do, even when you don't feel like it. You rebuild trust, and over time, that trust becomes confidence, not fake confidence, not loud confidence, real confidence. The kind where you don't need to talk about your goals because you're too busy executing them. And that's when everything starts to shift. Because once you trust yourself, you move differently, you think differently, you act differently. You stop doubting every step, you stop questioning every move, you stop needing approval. You become dangerous, not to others, but to your old life. Because now, you're no longer controlled by comfort. And understand this clearly. Comfort is the biggest trap. It doesn't look like a trap. It feels safe. It feels easy. It feels deserved. But comfort is what keeps people average. It keeps them in the same place, the same habits, the same results, the same life. And the more you choose comfort, the harder it becomes to leave it. That's why discipline matters. Because discipline breaks comfort. Discipline forces you to grow. It forces you to stretch. It forces you to become someone new, and growth always feels uncomfortable. That's how you know it's working. If everything feels easy, you're not growing, you're maintaining, and you didn't come this far just to stay the same. You came to evolve. So when things feel hard, when it feels uncomfortable, good, when it feels like you're being tested, that's exactly what's happening. Because every level of your life requires a new version of you. And that version is built through pressure, not comfort. Pressure creates strength. Pressure creates focus. Pressure creates discipline, but only if you stay in it. Most people escape pressure. They run from it, they avoid it, and that's why they stay the same. You're not running anymore, you're staying. Even when it's uncomfortable, even when it's slow, even when it's uncertain, because now you understand something deeper. The struggle is not the problem. The struggle is the process. It's shaping you, it's preparing you, it's preparing the version of you that can handle the life you want. Because think about it, if you got everything you wanted right now, without growth, without discipline, without becoming stronger, you wouldn't be able to keep it. That's why the process matters. It's not delaying, so stop rushing it. Stop looking for shortcuts. Stop trying to skip the hard parts, because the hard parts are the reason you'll be able to sustain success when it comes. And it will come if you stay locked when you feel like it, but consistently. Because consistency is what turns effort into results. It's what turns small actions into big outcomes. It's what separates people who dream from people who achieve. So ask yourself again, who are you becoming? Not what do you want, not what sounds good. Who are you becoming through your daily actions? Because that answer is your future. If you stay distracted, you become someone who never finishes. If you stay consistent, you become someone who cannot be stopped, and that choice is made every single day. So don't take today lightly. Don't treat it like it doesn't matter, because today is building your tomorrow. Right now, in this moment, you are either becoming stronger or staying the same. There is no in-dash between. So choose carefully, and once you choose, Stand on it, because this time, you're not going back. You've seen too much. You've felt too much. You know too much now. It's time to become it. Let's be real for a moment. Strip everything down. No motivation, no hype, no music in the background, just you. And the truth, you're not behind because you don't have time. You're behind because of how you've been using it. You're not stuck because life is unfair. You're stuck because you haven't been consistent. You're not lost. You've just been distracted. And I'm not saying that to bring you down. I'm saying it because it gives you power. Because if the problem was something outside of you, you wouldn't be able to fix it. But this is in your control. And that means everything can change right now. Only if you stop lying to yourself. Because that's where it starts, the small lies. Tomorrow, I'll do it later. I just need a break. I'm not ready yet. You've said those things before, and every time you did, you delayed your own growth. You didn't fail. You postponed, and those delays, they add up. Days turn into weeks. Weeks turn into months. Months turn into years, and suddenly, you're looking at a life that doesn't match your potential. Not because you couldn't do it, but because you didn't stay with it. That's the truth. And once you accept that, everything changes, because now you stop waiting, you stop blaming, you stop hoping something outside of you will fix your life. You take responsibility, and responsibility is where power begins. Because now it's clear, if your life is a result of your actions, then changing your actions changes your life. Simple, but not easy, because it requires honesty, real honesty, the kind where you sit with yourself and admit, I've been holding myself back. No excuses, no blaming others, no pretending, just truth. And that truth might hurt at first, but it also frees you, because now you're not guessing anymore. You know what needs to change? Your habits, your focus, your discipline, your consistency. That's it. Not some secret formula, not some hidden strategy, just better daily actions, repeated over time. That's how everything changes. And here's the part most people avoid. You have to let go of your old self, the version of you that procrastinates, makes excuses, avoids hard things, quits when it gets uncomfortable. That version cannot come with you. You can't build a new life. With old habits, it doesn't work. So you have to decide, are you ready to let that version of you go? Not talk about it, not think about it. Actually let it go, because growth requires sacrifice. You don't just gain discipline, you lose distractions. You don't just gain focus, you lose comfort. You don't just gain success, you lose the version of you that was holding you back. That's the trade. Aren't willing to make it. That's why they stay the same. But you're here, which means you're different. Not because you're special, but because you're aware, and awareness is the beginning of change. But listen carefully. Awareness without action changes nothing. You can know everything and still stay stuck. So don't just listen, don't just agree, act, even if it's small, even if it's simple. Start, because starting creates momentum, and momentum creates progress, and progress builds belief, and belief changes everything. So don't wait for the perfect moment. There is no perfect moment. There is only now and what you do with it. Right now, you can choose differently. You can choose discipline over distraction, focus over comfort. Growth over excuses. And that choice, repeated daily, will change your entire life. So don't overcomplicate it. Wake up, show up, do the work, repeat. That's it. No magic, no shortcuts, just commitment. Because at the end of the day, it always comes back to one question. Are you serious this time? Not motivated, not excited, serious. Because if you are, then nothing can stop you. Not distractions, not doubt, not slow progress, nothing. Because a serious person finds a way, and it's time to become that person. Let me tell you something. One day, you're going to wake up not like today, not with time ahead of you, but with time behind you. You'll sit there, in silence, no noise, no distractions, no running, just you and your life. And in that moment, you won't be thinking about the small things. You won't care about the nights you went out, the hours you wasted, the comfort you chose. You'll think about one thing. Did I become who I was supposed to be? That question will hit harder than anything. Because deep down, you already know who that person is. You've seen glimpses of them in your focused moments. In your disciplined days, in the times you actually showed up, you've felt it. That version of you is real. But the real question is, will you meet them? Or will they stay a possibility that you never fully stepped into? Because that regret, it doesn't come from failing. It comes from not trying fully, from stopping too early, from choosing comfort over growth, from knowing you had more, but never bringing it out. And the truth is, that future is being built right now, not someday, not later, right now. With every choice you make, every time you delay, you move further away from that version. Every time you stay disciplined, you move closer. That's how simple it is. Not easy, but simple. And one day, all those small decisions will become your life. So if you keep choosing distraction, that becomes your story. If you keep choosing discipline, that becomes your story, and nobody else writes it, only you. That's the part people don't want to accept, because it means there's no one to blame, but it also means there's no limit to what you can become if you commit BHL fully, because the life you want is not out of reach, it's just on the other side of who you need to become, and that version of you. They're not waiting for motivation. They're not waiting for the perfect moment. They're not waiting for someone to push them. They decided. And once they decided, they didn't look back. That's it. That's the difference. Not intelligence, not talent, not luck. Decision, followed by action, repeated daily. That's how everything changes.